Well, we're here in Grimsby. I've just parked the car. There she is, parked, locked up and safe. Now we're going to have a look round Grimsby. It sort of feels quite strange in a way. I'm walking round with my file and folder. It's like going back to those days when I was a student. You know, my file, my folders, my bag, catching the train from Burnley, where I lived, to Preston, where I was studying. So it kind of feels like that in a funny sort of way. Anyway, that building over there, that one, I thought it was a police station, that big one. Apparently it's a BT office, so we're wrong there. The police station's further down. We might see it, might not, but what I want to do at the moment is just walk around, look at the place, see what people think. You've a big Tesco's here, and you've got a big Asda. But we're going to walk along this road. I want to be trying to be careful not to get anybody, because I think it's quite a rough area, this. It sort of feels like it. I'm thinking of staying for about an hour. Or something like that, a couple of hours maybe. Having a walk round to see what the place is like. We got Wellington Street and we got the Wellington pub on the corner. The one thing I did notice about walking down here is the number of closed shops. A lot of foreign shops, vape shops, takeaways, things like that. Some of them look nice. It's alright, love, don't worry. Thank you. Oh, look at these. Hello, you two. Hello, love. I've got no treats, so we don't want to know me. See you. Yeah, two lovely dogs there. Wilmot's GCSE Business Studies. Religious studies. They look like they've been in there for years and years and years. I don't know. Yeah, this looked interesting, is it? Afro-Caribbean grocers. They have some lovely stuff in there. See, the shops seem to be empty. Or, you know, Sasha Health Limited, Deluxe Hair and Beauty, they all seem to be shut. That place looks like a funeral parlour, never mind the kitchen showroom. Shops are empty, but is that a surprising thing? I don't know. What we're going to do, we're going to walk down to the dock tower. And when we get there, I'll talk a little bit about the history of Grimsby. It does have quite an interesting history. See, some sort of independent school. And Ofsted apparently say it's good. So when Ofsted said it's good, isn't clear, but that's what they said. See more empty shops. Nice flower shop there. I don't know what that is. Russian something. Maybe it's not a good thing to be rushing in Grimsby at the moment. Some nice things. It's a second-hand shop, but there is some nice things in it. Look at that. Coal bunkers. Remember my nan used to have one of them in her house. Drink shops. And they're not expensive. Nesta tables, 15 nicker. Lots of people used to have them going back in the day. Put your magazines and your TV Times in them. Memories, that I do like. Don't you probably can't see it because of my reflection. And that, they're beautiful. You know, £45 for that, and it's been kind of semi-renovated. Don't quite know what that is. You've got some nice things in there though, for people. I like looking in second-hand shops. You'd be surprised at the things you'd see in there. I need to keep track of the time. So we'll say 2 o'clock. So I know I have to be back at the car for 5. I don't want it clamping or removing or anything else. That would be the last thing I would ever ask for. Go on, love. Right. It might have been easy to have crossed the road, to be honest. Kino Airsoft. Do they still use it? I don't know. But that looks closed. Closed again. Yeah. Again, coal scuttles. £1,029 for a fireplace. Depending on the house, I might or I might not. We're gathering. Freeman Street Market. A food court. Beast Burger. It all looks dead. You know, if ever you want to see a dying or a dead town or central business district, come here. Look, all clothes £2 each. And I'm tempted. I'm really tempted. No. Get the here, something for the Duchess, only it wouldn't fit her. Don't know what Duchess would say if I told her I've got her address. She wouldn't be very happy, because she knows I'm no good at picking these things. But never mind, I've got your address. Oh, coupons. We have one in Withensea. Now, if I said to the Duchess, I've got your address for £2 from the charity shop, I don't think she'd be very happy with me. She might, but somehow I think I'd be looking for board and lodgings elsewhere. So it's probably best that I don't. See it all shut under new management. Well, we're not doing a right good job, I don't think, looking at this. Yeah, I think this... Is that open? It looks shut. Oh yeah, it's open, the door's opening. But I don't see lots and lots of customers queuing up to be served. One or two. Again, charity shops, pizza places, the White Bear pub. Fancy a pint, anybody? Cooking and Eating Limited. Well, you've got your post office and you can tax your car there. Gallagher's. I wonder if anything to do with Liam and Noel. Who knows? Card shop. The Euro supermarket. Don't know what the Euro supermarket is. Upstairs, they may have wrestling and things. Who knows? Who can say? Why would anybody want to leave the home country to end up here in Grimsby? Viking House, I don't know what that is. Oh God. Department of Children's Services. My God. Turkish restaurant, well, that's alright. Zamzam. Well, that'll be mainly Arab food. Some Eastern European. But a lot of Indian and Pakistani food. I might nip in Ben's if you have any spice on the way back. I love curries. That's my favourite food. For Bradbury Calf. And it's for YMCA. I don't see many young Christian men hanging about it. But I suppose we could go in and we could sing, you need to go to the YMCA. You need to go to the YMCA. La 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 la. You can hang out with all the boys. Young man, if you're short on your dough, say young man. Anyhow, I'm going to cross the road. Tell you something, young Christian men, it's a boom industry over here. Then when they start stepping on the bench, they will do it. Yep, ABP, Associated British Ports in front. This looks nice. Again, shut shops. Health Gospel. Well, yeah, that lady's selling the gospel. You know what? Round here, they definitely need the gospel. Cotty's Bar. To let. Wow, there's a business opportunity. Talk to Jackson, Green and Preston. Business. Forbes Burton. I wonder what I'd... Just look at that. Forbes Burton. Business advisors and strategy consultant. Performance, growth, exit strategy, crisis and recovery. Wow. Now I wonder what advice they would give to any business here in Grimsby. I know what advice I'd be giving. Sell up and get out. Go. Go anywhere. Go. Just go, go, go. That's what I'd be saying. I thought Burnley was a dead town. I really did. Lived there for years and we got out because it was dead. You know what? I have never seen anything as dead as this. Anyway, I want to go to the Dock Tower. That's going to be interesting, I think. I don't know how close we can get to it, but we'll do what we can. There it is, poking its head over everything else. There we go. That's... Hi Lewis, sorry for not answering back. Hi Peter. Hi Dave. Well, I'm here in Grimsby. We don't call it Grimsby for nothing. I knew the place was a bit bad, a bit grim. I kind of got that, but I didn't know it was as bad as what it is. I've been here about an hour. First of all, I wanted to park my car. And I found an Asda car park when I was just walking round. And I thought to myself, wow, I'm gonna move my car. So I moved the car to a safer place. So it's now parked in Asda where I think it'll be okay. I think in one of these areas I'd be lucky if it had wheels on when I got back. Don't know what that is in front of me. It looks like something from Berlin in 1945. Now there must be a way of getting over there. Look at that. You know, you could, any enterprising filmmaker could make a film of that, put that in a film. You know, we're looking at Berlin or somewhere like that in 1945 at the end of the war. You wouldn't know any different, would you? I think there might be a way over here, he says, but we'll see. Well, Dave, there's some horrible places in the northwest. There's some rough places in Liverpool. I know that. Burnley, where I used to live, were rough, but by hell, I've never seen anything quite like this. But I want to try and get over to the tower. All this, I think, were marshalling yards, you know, for the fish industry, going back to the last century, well, the 19th century really, when Grimsby came into being. Oh, we've got a cafe here. Don't know what that is. It's some sort of factory. Yeah. It's all a bit, I don't know. It does stink of fish round here. It's a fish, you sell fish. It's possibly because round here is the centre of what's left of the Grimsby fish industry. Premier seafoods, look, crabs and shellfish. This is about it really. Home of king crab. And that apparently is a cold store. So whether there's a lot of fish still landed here, I don't know. Traditional smoked fish. A smokehouse. Yeah, lots of trays and things. Smokehouse, Cook and Lucas. So fish, it's still, you know, kind of big part, well maybe not big, but a significant part of the local economy. You know, all these smokehouses and cold stores and things like that. Got some water there, I don't know what, or something, who knows. Can you imagine living in one of them some flats over there? Other side of that van. I don't know if you can see them or not, but there's some flats. Can you imagine living in one of those? And having to put up with this smell all day? Oh my God. It can't be worse than this. Honestly, Dave. If Stoke's bad, alright, I've seen things on telly. But this, I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen some things in my time, but I've never seen anything. You know, Burnley in the 1980s were awful. There was no hope for the town. But never as bad as this. We had an identifiable town centre. We had shops which were open. We also trash, I know. A local toy shop. Oh my God. He'd buy in for Christmas. That were it then. Before he got any new toys, you'd have to wait until next Christmas. It used to be terrible. You know, Ruben and Samuel, my sons, were only little at the time, and we'd have to go out to Blackburn, or Preston, or Manchester, you know, to get some toys. But this place, Christ, it's awful. See, another cold store. Some more flats down there. I just wouldn't want to live here. I suppose you get used to it. I suppose you don't even smell the fish. DNA fish supplies, wow. Wow. Norvik. Arctic fish. Well, it was Arctic fish, but like so many other things, it's for sale. So we now come to the bottom of Ryby Street. I've a nasty feeling we can't get over to the other side. I was hoping that we could. Or there might be a way. There's your train, your Transpennine Express. Goes from Cleethorpes, I think, to Doncaster. No, Scunthorpe, Doncaster. From Doncaster it'll wend its way over probably to Barnsley, going to Manchester, maybe even Liverpool. And we might be able to get over. We'll have to see. But I really want to look at that tower. Well, it's certainly different to what I thought. Well, you can't drive along here, but you obviously can walk, and that guy walked. Yeah, this does take you over to the other side. Hey, look at the old lamppost. Or what's left of it. Yeah, the lamp has fallen off the post. Got a bit that was put there when they built this bridge. Looking at the brick, it's hard wearing brick. Looking at the concrete, it's old. Maybe, who can say? 100 years ago, maybe longer. Oh God, Caleria. There we are. It's only single lined. And you think what this would have been like going back in the day when Grimsby were a port. A huge port, a dog, when it had Britain's biggest fishing fleet. When that thing over there were built. There, the hydraulic tower, Grimsby Dock Tower. Not sure what that is, but looking at it, water goes in, or something goes in. There's two big pipes. Yeah, and there's another one of those lamps. I bet they're older. I bet they're older than 100 years, if truth be known. Might even be, I don't know, Edwardian possibly. Anybody any ideas? There's another one. Anybody who's got any ideas? You know, I'm always happy to learn. Always. think I'm gonna come here again sometime. Yeah, it's still raining a little bit. Now I do know there's houses on this side of the track. So there must be a reason why they've closed it all off. I have a feeling it might be the bridge. Well, I've got some stuff on Grimsby that I've researched. First of all, a little bit about the town. Population's about 86,000. Its traditional industry is fishing, and as we've seen, it's possibly still a little bit significant. Not as significant as it would have been, but there is some significance there. There's still a lot of processing. And as I've said, we did have the world's largest fishing fleet here. There's some boat. Suffered immensely from post-industrial decline. I don't know what this is. The lady's having a smoke. I might go and ask her. I wonder if it's the income tax office or the social security. I mean, the town itself. Oh, Safina, I don't know. Ah, Young's. Again, that's food. I would get to see some boats there. I haven't done. You don't need me to go rabbiting on about the town's history when we can see some boats. I don't think it won't be as many as anywhere near as many. There we go. That looks like a trawler to me. But then I'm not an expert, so I don't know. I'm going to take my life in the hands in a minute. You can't see that much. Blimey, look at that. A big boat. Sea wind tempest. So they do still have some fishing, not anywhere near like that they would have had back in the day. Another couple here tied up. Looks like a tug to me, that one. So they do still have some fishing. Bit worried there. There's a boat lift, so I can see that. So there is some repair and maintenance as well. So it's not all desolate and finished and forgot about. Look at that. We might be able to get a better look over here actually. Oh yeah, we can. Well, how's that for a view? Oh, these. That might be it. One at the back of this is a tub. See back then? We've been on for 36 minutes. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes. Then I'm going to cut this. I'm not ending it. I think I know I've worked out how to cut it. And then when I've done that, you know, I'm going to get on the pavement. I don't feel that safe, to be honest. See more boats. I mean, what I'm going to do, I want to get to the water tower, which is there. I don't know how close I'm going to be able to get to it though. So we'll have to play that one by ear and see where we're going to go with it. It's all been industrial, you know, buildings, marshalling yards, warehouses, I don't know, loads of things like that. Baker Engineering Group. When I was doing my national diploma in mechanical engineering, oh, I'm going back now. I'm going back when dinosaurs still roamed the earth. Our course leader was called Mr. Bacon. Yeah. He got called other things as well. He never got on with me. I never got on with him. He just took a dislike to me. And I just took a dislike to him, I suppose. You know, you just look round here though, bloody, just more and more desolation. Yeah, you'd have thrived in communities, alright, they'd have stunk like fish. Right, I get all that. It'd have been awful at times. Especially on a hot summer's day. Oh, God. But at least we had jobs. At least we could make something of a life. Now what do? You've got kids. What do the kids do? They get to 18. Hopefully they get reasonable GCSEs and reasonable A-levels. And they're off. They're off to Leeds, Manchester, Birmingham, wherever they can go. They're going to get out. You know, once they're out, they're going to make lives, and they are never going to come back. That's it. They've gone. And you never come back. Ever. They'll come back to see the Ma and Da every now and then, but their lives will be somewhere else. They'll get married. They'll bring the kids up once a year, if you're lucky. Mum and Dad will go down for a few days in summer when it's possible, when it's convenient. And that's it, that's as good as it gets. know things are what they are. But who do you blame? Those on the left blame, to this day we blame Thatcher. Admittedly, when I lived in Burnley and I couldn't get a job, and if I could get a job it was really poor pay, I used to hate Margaret Thatcher and the Tories. But then, it wasn't them, was it? They dealt with the situation. I think it's all government, not just the Tories, not just Labour, but the whole lot of them. Hey up. How'd that? Obviously working on it. There she is. And there's those wrecked buildings. I think these yachts are owned by ordinary people. You know? We'll go out and enjoy them. But all this area would have been warehouses, all sorts of, you know, businesses connected with the docks, chandlers, boat builders, boat repairers, cold stores. We used to have buildings where you kept all the ice. We'd have pack ice, and you know, for the fish when they came ashore, because they had to pack it in ice. And we used to have buildings which were absolutely full of ice, and that's before refrigeration became a thing. Oh, you look and you think, oh. There you go, there's you. I don't think we can get any closer down here. But we'll just see what we can do. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, we walk past these buildings, but on the other side. 1894, that one. See, we can see that. Amazing. You know, whatever happened, I'm sure nobody in government, local government, or anybody intended this outcome for Grimsby. It happened. But what hope is there for you if you're from Grimsby? It's like I said, if you... I'm just trying to find my... There we go. Yeah. I mean, the town, it goes back to Roman times. You know, archaeologists have found evidence, you know, of a Roman settlement near the River Freshney. And we know that in the 9th century AD, the area was settled by the Danes. Yeah, look at all this. Don't know where that's come from. It'd be alright for your fire though, wouldn't it? If you got a log burner. You know, the name Grimsby derives from Grim, which was an alternative name for their god Thor, and Bay, which was, it means land of, so Grimsby, the land of Grim, you could say. Let's look at that. The size of these docks, it's just beyond comprehension, isn't it? So we go through the 9th century, and it was only a small settlement. In the 12th century, it was a township, but it grew into a fishing and trading port, and in 1201 gained its charter from King John. In the 15th century, the haven began to silt up, and that prevented ships docking. And at that point, the town went into decline. No ships, no trade. Until about the mid-18th century, when, I don't know what that is, the mid-18th century, when I need to think about what I'm going to do, so I'm going to carry on in a moment. Yep, I'm alright now. So mid-18th century, we dredged the dock area and gave decent access to the Humber. Now, at that point, the town's economy began to recover. So slowly, Grimsby became what it become. And then you go through the fishing booms of the late 19th century and early 20th century until you get to the 1950s, when Grimsby wasn't just the biggest fishing port in the United Kingdom, but the biggest in the entire world. But then in the 1970s you got your cod wars, which affected the town, and then after that yeah, and then after that we joined the common market, the European Union, and their common agricultural and fisheries policy, it was a death knell for Grimsby as a fishing port, and it's just never really recovered. Even now the population is declining. Later on we're going to go and have a walk through West Marsh. Oh, there's your tower again. I'll talk about that in a moment. There it is. I don't think we're going to get much closer to it, if I'm honest. I'll try and we'll see. But Grimsby will never see them glory days again. I mean, the government's put money in at various times, but it's never put enough in. But then I suppose, why Grimsby and not Burnley? I think there's lots of reasons. Where are you going to put the money? Hull's had a lot of regeneration over the last 20 years, and it's beginning to show. But Grimsby, I don't think it's had much at all. There was some hope when Boris Johnson was elected. He was going to somehow inject public money to attract private funds into left behind areas like this. I mean, look at that. I don't know what the hell that is. Again, it looks like Berlin just after the war. Just look at that. It's awful. Things I'm showing, if anybody knows anything about them, please don't be frightened of, adding a comment. I'm always interested in what people say and what people think. So there's a bridge, I think, up here. The port office down here. It takes you back to the A180. The A180 takes you out of Grimsby. Like I was saying, I was joking earlier on about that business consultant. What advice can he give? You know, business in Grimsby. I know if I was a business consultant, it would be get out. Just go. Shut shop and open up elsewhere. Just look at that. Crying out loud, what a mess. You know, no joke, you kind of expect to see some Sherman tanks or T-34 tanks come careering round that corner. Yeah, you've been somehow taken back. You know, to Nazi Germany. Little trees in boxes. Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, let's have a look. I don't know how far we're going to get down, but it might get us to what we want to look at. You know, the dock tower. What we can see. Bloody awful, look at that. Are they pulling it down? I don't know. It's a scaffold access, it's to stop it falling down on people. So it's a little bit dangerous, unsafe structure. So I don't know whether, if it did come down, whether that planking on top of us would be enough to save us. I don't know. But we're going to walk back on that side in a bit because it's safe to do so, because there's no vehicle access either side. Dear God, though, you talk about devastation and dereliction. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. I've seen some things, but this, yeah, God. They might be dismantling it, I don't know. But we don't seem to be doing anything today. Alfred Enderby. So like Grimsby was the land of Grim, Enderby was the land of End. The End land probably. Who knows? I think these may have been markets at some time. You know, the wagons back on their loading bays. Possibly, but I don't know. Now that's interesting. We'll have a look at that. On the roof. But we see enough dereliction on here. There's a little bit of history here. Oh, something else what's interesting down there. We'll go and have a look at that in a minute. We can get so far. That'll be our lot. The Royal Dock Quay 2. We might get a half decent look at this, I don't know. Well, we'll cross over. It's just a smokehouse. I thought they were very ornamental. Thought there might have been something, but nah. It's just ornamental. See, RWE Grimsby Hub, Sophia Wind Farm and Triton Knoll Wind Farm. So like on the other side, on Rivershore, we have Siemens doing it from Hull Docks. Here we've got these doing it from Grimsby. So it is really a river of energy, you could say. But it's the old thing again, isn't it? All this wind power. What happens at 5 p.m. on a freezing cold winter day? And there's no wind. No sunlight and no wind. Then what do we do? Well, the lights go out. There you go. Again, it stinks of fish. We might get pretty reasonably close. We may or we may not. We'll just have to see. Something an ocean. It's well closed. Tom Taylor and Sons. Get you sorted out for going to sea. Well. It's a nice boat, isn't it? Maybe S5 Wind 50. Yep. We're going to get a look at it. How much of a look we get, I don't know. Looks like somebody's doing something there, and they're hoping to let that place. Incentive and potential funding opportunities. Ooh. Grimsby SVV. Mutual Insurance and Protecting Company Limited. ABP Fishstock Road. Well, we can't go in there. This is we're probably getting to the closest we can get to that tower. Now, if you're on the other side of the Humber, somewhere near Yeah, you can't see it from Withensea, but when you go down past Holland and that, where I take the dog, keep on going, and eventually you will come to the River Humber, and you can see that tower. Yeah, from the Spurn you can definitely see it. I think we're going to get right up to it. I think we're going to get right up to that. Not in the food trading. I think this is probably, well, I don't know. We're not. Well, there it is. Well, there it is, folk. Yeah, I don't want to take pictures of Orsted. Yeah, we can't do that much if I did, to be honest. But why would I want to have an argument with them? I wouldn't. I've only come this way for one thing. Wow. So that's it. That's the Grimsby Tower. I don't think I'm going to get closer than that.
Hiya.
Hello, look, I'm not photographing you lot.
No, no.
Just the tower.
Yeah, I know, but when ABP rules, so you're not allowed to take any photos.
No, that's all right, love. I've done what I wanted to do. Thanks.
Just blame ABP.
No, that's fine, love.
Alright.
As I said, I was being careful, not just the tower, and that's it. And that can be seen on Google.
It's ABP rules that you're not allowed to photograph anything.
No, that's fine, love. That's fine. Look, have a good day, love, anyhow. Thanks a lot. That's a nice lady, that. A really nice lady. And yeah, for the moment, I'm going to cut off. Because I'm just going to come back more or less the way I've come. So we'll chat in a while. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Dave. But I'm going to try and cut off for a bit. I'm going to try, in fact I might just cut off altogether, go back to the car, find my way to West Marsh. I'm not sure how to get there now. A lot of this I saw during my PhD, but that's more years ago than I can remember. So I'm going to cut off anyway, and we shall talk soon. So I'm just told Dave I'm going to cut off for a while, and you know, There's some of some interest. They're not used now, but look, train lines. Think that, just imagine trains. So I'm gonna cut out now anyway, and I'll come back later on. So thanks for watching, everybody. I will be back within about an hour. It's been great having you on board, and I shall see you on the next one.